Because I'm mad, I break up fears, lick shots in the air. You get back and start swinging everywhere. Me shifty, now you.
That's right. It is OSD, Obsessive Sneaker Disorder. This is episode 358, talking sneakers since 2007. Thank you for tuning in as you do on Wednesday. It is a beautiful damn day, the best day of the week. Not just because I said so, but because we get to get together, the Sole Doctors and the Disorderlies, to talk about sneakers, kicks, all that good stuff. Share our opinions and then some. Put sneakers under the gun, under the knife. Which ones get sliced and diced, thrown out the back door because we're not playing any games. We are the most dangerous show on the internet. Yes, we've been doing this since 2007. We're not stopping anytime soon. And the brands that definitely tune in, we see you, we see you, we see you. So, we got a great show in store for you. Stay tuned. Let's get the doctors in the building. The doctors are in the building. Let's go straight to the A, to the T, to the L. Mr. Anita Heat is in the building. What up, man?
Man, what's going on, OSD? What's good? Everybody all right?
We coolin', man. It's Wednesday. I'm excited. I'm ready to talk sneakers, some fuckery, you know,
Yes,
some craziness. Back to school
a lot of crazy stuff this week. I'm definitely
man,
ready to talk about it. Ready to get into it.
For real. So stay tuned. Hold on. I don't know, man. Mr. Ben Berry, we're gonna have to make sure you're gonna bring back the Kid and Play. You bringing back the Kid and Play flat top? Is that what you're telling me? Kid and Play flat top?
I might.
I see it.
Humidity's high, so is my hair. You know what I mean? Out here in the street. What's going on, OSD listener?
Yeah, man. I hear you. So stay tuned. What are you? By the way, what are you working on? Where can folks catch you? Because that Ronda Rousey video went viral, went crazy. That she knocked homegirl out in like 37 seconds afterwards.
Yeah.
What'd you do to her?
Give them motivation. Nah,
Okay.
I can't even take credit for that. Cool-ass person. If shout out to the people at Reebok. Shout out Ronda Rousey. Listening, text me back, girl.
You might have to, take that entourage bet where you.
Yo, I would.
All right.
D, what sneakers you wearing today, by the way?
Oh man, what sneakers am I wearing today? I decided to go a little bright. I went nice and bright.
Ooh.
Wow.
With the neon. Yeah, you couldn't miss me. I just.
What size are those?
14, baby, 14.
Really?
14. They actually these. You know what? I don't own a pair of Roche Runs, so these are the closest equivalent to them.
Right.
And I must say these. And I wear them. I mean, y'all can see I wear them. I've worn them multiple times. The torsion bar, a classic. These are very comfortable. I haven't tried Roche Runs. I don't want to try Roche Runs. I will stick to these.
How do those run?
These actually run big.
Really?
They do.
I have to
They
check
do.
the pair out.
It's like an all mesh ZX Flux. Is that
It's
correct?
all mesh. It is all mesh. Nice.
That's
and
a GR
comfortable.
colorway?
Yep, GR. This is one of the first colorways. You know.
No, man.
And these are dirty as hell. You can't tell. They look great on camera, but they're actually dirty because I don't give a fuck right about now. I just wear them. No, I'm serious. Like, I'm at that point. Listen, I'll save that for later on in the show. But let's get to Dr. Paper Chaser. Make sure he's in the building. What up? What's up, sir?
Salute to the Sole Doctors Disorderlies all around the world. Having a really good week, feeling real good. We're here for episode number 358. 2 weeks is our anniversary, y'all.
Man. Crazy.
2 weeks is the 8th anniversary of Obsessive Sneaker Disorder, the talk show. 8 years. 2015. So, we've been around doing this a couple years longer than Barack Obama's been in office. How about that?
For real. That's real.
What up, Barack?
How about that? So, we got to give a shout out to all of our disorderlies, D-Wells, who are currently in the summer 2015 session of social studies. and having a ball, knocking it out the park with all that we are throwing at them, and we are throwing some crazy stuff at them that they're just throwing right back at us with some really good
Yeah, some left hooks and some jabs.
reflections of the guidance and lessons we've been giving them. So props to everybody that's in social studies 2015 summer session, all of you disorderlies. Keep up the good work. We took it light on y'all this week, and we didn't give you guys an assignment for week 5, but please be prepared for week 6. Is all I have to say. Be prepared. You're going to have to dig really deep. So, that being said, also, we have some really good news on the home front here in Brooklyn. I'm happy to announce that I am part of a group of 6 people who is starting a basketball team here in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. So it will be called Fitness, Education, and Sports in Brooklyn. Unlike any other basketball team in the nation, I can guarantee you that, just based on what we're offering folks. So starting in September, real excited. We got our gym space secured, and everything else is all locked and loaded. So we launch in September, it goes down in September. So we're real happy about that. So just know that social studies will be a key component in the FES Brooklyn weekly regimen that our athletes get. So
Nice. That's a great look, dude.
ready to go. Thank you, Ben Berry. We're going to make sure you get involved. Trust and believe that.
Definitely. I want a team shirt. Yo, Sean, what sneakers you wore today?
I wore my Yeezy, my all black.
He said he's. Oh.
let me just go to Instagram and pull it up and show you, man.
Exactly. Show them.
You hit the crossfader on them. The Yeezy.
I'll just go to Instagram and pull that up.
Yo, Heat, what sneakers you wore today, yo? You're muted, so I can't even hear you say it.
You hear me now?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Ironically, I wore the Roshis too. I wore the olive green joint.
See?
Today was the day for that pointing
I guess so.
Ain't nothing like a pair of Roshis, man, when you just really want to throw something on, you don't really give a damn. You just like, yo, I'll beat this shit up.
I only got a pair because they look like Yeezys. I wanted Yeezys and I couldn't afford them, so
He said I wanted Yeezys.
That's the only reason why I got them.
Come on.
So I'm going to show what I wore today to Ben Berry.
And the rest of the disorderlies around the internets.
Here's what I wore today, Ben Berry.
Gotta make you the main screen. There you go.
You know, I've talked to a couple people who have inside tracks to Yeezys. They said they're already sold out. They said they've been sold out since last week.
Oh yeah, man.
I said they don't come out till this weekend. How they already sold out? You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, all right.
Exactly. So I wore these Yeezys that Nike gave me a few months ago when they came out. that were not $200. They were more like $75, which I got a discount on top of that, so they were more like $55.
Yeah, that's how much I got mine for. $50.
So these are my Yeezys I wore today, Ben Berry. Aren't they nice?
Yeah, they are, yo. Shout out to Tara on the comments. Big Tara, one of the illest dancers in New York.
Word up. She gets down. Anomaly. Stand up. So yeah, that's what I wore today.
That's crazy. Yo, fun fact. You can get Yeezys at PacSun.
Yep.
You get Yeezys at PacSun.
No.
Wow.
Again, PacSun.
He said fun fact, though. I love the fun fact.
Totally is a fun fact, because no one anticipates going in a store like that to buy them. But they're not in. PacSun is not on the East Coast, though.
Yeah, they are.
Where?
Now they are in the malls now.
Yeah, in all the malls.
I haven't been to any mall where there's a PacSun, so you guys got to put me on game.
Yeah, there's a couple up down here.
Let's say we have a couple of them ourselves.
Yeah. Go to Garden State.
Garden State.
Willowbrook.
I'm gonna go down there and buy all their Yeezys to flip them.
Yo, can we talk about that for a minute? How many random stores, if you guys looked at the Nike or the Adidas confirmed app, the stores that say they're gonna have the Yeezys, there's a lot of them.
Yep, there sure are.
Is a lot of them.
Yep, but it didn't help. It didn't help their stock today.
Not at all.
Good segue. What's the stock?
Really didn't help their stock today. So let's get dirty, as Redman said in that Christina Aguilera song.
Man.
Bloody day today in stocks. Bloody day. Y'all get a look at this. So, now that the Sole Doctors have had a glimpse into what today's stocks look like, if you're keeping score, only 3 were up today. So, Nike finished at 114.97 of 15 cents per share. Skechers finished at 152.30, getting a little bit of echo from somebody. 152.30 Skechers finished at down $2.11 per share. And even at that, they are still almost $40 per share higher than Nike. VF Corporation finished at 75.58, down 61 cents per share. Under Armour gang is now at $100 per share. They finished at $100.07 per share, down 29 cents on the day. Deckers Outdoor Corporation, parent company for Uggs and Teva, finished at $68.88, down 70 cents per share. Foot Locker Incorporated finished at $74.06 per share, down 6 cents per share on the day. And that rounds out all the stocks that are on the New York Stock Exchange. Next up, we have Adidas on the OTC market. Finished at $37.55, up 15 cents per. Puma AG finished on the ETR market at 178.80 in euros, down 230. eBay on the Nasdaq finished at 27.43, down 34 cents per share, and pretty decent gain on the day, rounding out all the stocks we watch. Also on Nasdaq, Finish Line finished at $28.73 per share, up 29 cents per. So these are the 10 stocks that we watch. Those are how they did on the day's trading. Overall, though, we're keeping score. 7 stocks down, 3 stocks were up. Pretty bloody day for all the sneaker stocks that we watch. So, again, Under Armour is now at the $100 per share mark, making serious moves. Skechers is still trading at almost $40 per share higher than Nike. And what else do we have to highlight here? I'm forgetting something. Oh, Puma.
Okay.
Puma finished at 178.80 euros, down 230, still with rumors circulating in the underground circles somewhere, somehow, that they're looking to do something on the acquisitions and merger tip, somehow. So, stocks are rising for certain people. When we finished the show last week, or when we reported on stocks last week and they finished today's trading, Under Armour was at 160, correct? Or was that 2 weeks ago? Or was that 2 weeks ago? It might have been 2 weeks ago. I think Under Armour was at 160.32. Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure, not 100% sure, but I want to say it was 2 weeks ago.
160?
160.32. Yeah, Skechers.
Okay.
I think it was a couple of weeks ago. But they're still up there, 152.30 per share. So you still want to get in the game. Info@osdlive.com. We will do our best to show you how to try and get in. You want to win on both sides. Good product, dividends at the end of the year. When these companies make money, you make money. All of that kind of good stuff. When you're getting money two ways. So, what you guys think about the results today?
A lot of earnings numbers are coming out, and we're seeing a lot of, last week was up, seeing a lot of people taking a beating. Skechers, obviously, they've been getting hit. This is now 2 weeks in a row that they took a huge bump, but, overall, they've been winning since the last quarter of 14. I think they're going to have a great back-to-school market. I mean, their numbers are probably going to be crazy again because that's what people are buying. I mean, I saw some folks today in Boston buying, doing some serious back-to-school shopping, clothing shopping, and they definitely, I saw, that people are walking into the off-price retailers more and more, and even if you walk into places like specialty sneaker stores that are geared towards families, the name is escaping me right now. I noticed in two people's bags, they were actually, they were carrying about 3 pair of Skechers sneakers. They weren't buying Nike, they weren't buying Adidas, they weren't buying, Reebok. They were buying Skechers. And I was like, that's really telling. This was a family of 4. One kid looked like he was in school. The other one was too young to be in school. A toddler. So we should see some numbers, right? I mean, this is here it is. I mean, summer is almost over. Labor Day weekend is almost upon us. Kids already in Georgia and throughout the South have already gone back to school. So now we're going to see even more as the Northeast prepares to go back right before or more so right after Labor Day.
Right after Labor Day. Yep, right after.
So numbers on the board. The stock is going to be interesting tomorrow. I know, only because I pay attention to the off-price retailers, and SFK will certainly relate to this. The company TJX had a huge call, and their stock jumped up big time yesterday, over $3 per share. And tomorrow, Ross is going to have their Wall Street call, and it's going to affect the market once again. So Ross, from the looks of it, looks like they're going to be reporting some huge, big numbers too.
Ross is expanding more rapidly than I've seen in the past couple of years. I mean, not so much in the Northeast, but further down south where they have more of a stronghold.
Yep.
They're expanding like crazy. And even in looking in some of the stores just at their footwear selection, it looks like they're sniping a lot of buys, or maybe the other off-price retailers are rejecting these buys, but you can see it all over the internet. People are talking about the Nike buys that Ross has been getting.
And the come-ups, right?
Yeah.
What's his name? Young Lil out there in Cali. He's famous for posting his raw scores from Southern California.
Ross has been getting some awesome buys across the board. Footwear, clothing, and it looks like either TJX was packing away or they just realized what they were missing out on, but they're starting to catch up on their buys, especially in the footwear department with Nike and some of the other larger athletic footwear brands.
Yeah.
So, but the pricing is they're on two different ends of the spectrum, where Marshalls is now upping their pricing on footwear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ross footwear, you can get a pair of Jordans for $70.
Really?
Yeah.
A pair of numbered retro Jordans for $70.
Yeah.
That's
The
huge.
Ross come-ups online have been crazy. People have been posting, and like Quab said, I've been watching Marshalls and TJ Maxx all summer, because this is usually around the time of year I expect to come up on them, and it's been bone dry. Like, I've been watching them all summer, hitting them at least once or twice a week, and it's been bone dry.
Ross has been getting most of the buys this summer. Going into the fall, TJX has started to get a lot of the basketball stuff since we're in summer. All of the basketball stuff from last fall, like LeBron 11s and stuff like that, is starting to pop up at Marshalls and
Mhm.
TJ Maxx. But Ross has been killing it all summer, where Marshalls is just jumping on the bandwagon now.
Yeah, and the other company who they're a New York-based situation, but they've been getting a lot of stuff too, is Century 21.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched Century 21. We don't have any down south, but I am not sure if they're acquiring all of their footwear stock directly from the manufacturer, in a sense where TJX and Ross will go to Nike and say, I want to buy your closeouts.
Mhm.
Because of, I would say, their smaller stature so far as their store size,
Right, they don't have that
the
leverage.
stores that they have, I don't think they're going directly to them. They may be going to somebody else who
Yeah, you're right.
that might be a secondhand source
Yeah.
and get their stock through them. But I don't think they have the buying power at the moment
Mhm.
to go directly to them, because I remember seeing the buys that would come across my desk and they would be 500,000 pairs of shoes, and I don't think they have enough stores
No,
to
you're
handle.
totally right. You're totally right. Century 21 is going through somebody else because I remember one year we particularly pointed this out on an episode of OSD that Century 21 actually had the Classic Kicks Fila collaboration in their stores.
Right.
So
Right.
for
Good
me, that
memory.
speaks exactly to what you're saying, Quab, as far as because that's not something you go to Fila for.
Yeah.
That's something you go to another source for. And some of the stuff that I've been seeing, it's been really good stuff in Century 21. But yeah, again, it's not something that I think they're going straight to certain retailers and manufacturers and getting directly. It's another source that's giving their shoes.
See, I
But
thought Century 21 was like the upscale like version of Marshalls or TJ Maxx or Ross or things of that nature. I thought because
the
That's what
stores
they
look
want you to think.
upscale.
That's what they want you to think. They're all of the stores are the same.
Mm-hmm.
TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, they're all the same. They all
that's
have
Century 21.
different gimmicks that they run to make you think, oh, this is this kind of store, this is that kind of store, but they all do the same thing. They
Yep.
all buy closeouts. They all buy
Yeah.
either some of or regulars. They scour the globe to get all of these buys. They're all the same.
Yep.
It's just who has the most buying power. And
Yep.
right now, at the moment, it's TJX because of the amount of doors that they have, whether it be in the continental United States or even overseas or combined. They have the most doors. They have the biggest buying power.
So check this out.
Ross,
I just did a quick search on, Ross sneaker finds,
hmm
and I was able to find just real quickly on the hashtag Ross sneaker finds. Real quickly,
Mhm.
people are posting, like, for example, someone found a pair of Adidas Pure Boosts at Ross today, or they posted them today, and they're being sold for $49.99. Regular retail price $120, right? Give you an example. These are all the ones with that particular hashtag. You have Kobe's, you have the Pure Boost, you have some soccer cleats, some Venom cleats, and then you look at something like this, which, again, these are called Ross
In Ross.
finds in Ross stores. You've got Jordan
Yeah.
1s,
that
Jordan
that's not
5s.
that's not a Ross, unfortunately.
It can't
Well,
be no Ross, dog.
Yeah, look at that. Whoa.
well, that's what I was just going to say, because doesn't Ross, they don't have displays like this.
They're not
They
gonna
don't
have a
they don't
build
have
out.
slot room. Ross doesn't have
Yeah.
slot room.
What does that
Okay.
tag say though?
So this tag
Yeah, they just hashtagged it.
does remind me here of like a Foot Locker or Finish Line or box store, right? So that one does look suspect, but this one in particular, this Kobe, there's no denying because you can see the tag,
Yeah.
for this Kobe 9, $79.99, regular retail price $225, and this is by Team Below Retail. I love that. I love that handle,
Yeah,
Team
they've
Below
been around for a
Retail.
while.
So.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a
there are
honorary
deals
member of
out
that.
there. There are deals out there.
Yep, it's all about the patience.
I mean, even down to a mellow. Oh my
1.5.
goodness, was it a 1.5? Wow.
1.5.
Yeah, it's a 1.5.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
I done came up
Interesting.
on a couple pair of Kobe 8s up there, and they comfortable as hell.
But let's check
Hmm.
this out for a come up. These will be come up every day they come out.
Which ones are those? Which ones?
Oh, this was
Ja
hilarious.
Rule, Ja Rule has partnered with Steve Madden
Oh
for a line of
man.
shoes and sneakers. A line of shoes and sneakers called Maven times Madden.
Yeah. This is
This,
bad.
this is a match
Guys,
made in heaven.
yeah.
This is a match made in heaven.
This I thought this was a
So
WTF.
well, it's totally a WTF, but I wanted to show you guys exactly why it's WTF. Not only are these photos crazy, these photos, like, seriously.
Yep.
He's on top of speakers and amps and all of this craziness. Like, that's crazy right there. Then all of
Yeah.
a sudden now
He's
he's
singing.
He looks like
he's no
Pitbull.
Bruce here.
He looks like Pitbull.
But now
Word.
He looks like Pitbull.
let's get into the
It does
shoes.
like
Word.
Let's get into the shoes, shall we?
Like Frogger in the face.
All right. Do you guys see the shoe I have up?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to go to a clearer colorway so that you can see exactly what the WTF here is.
It's
It
the
looks
Iverson
like
I3.
It looks like a Buscemi sneaker.
Okay, so
Actually,
what do
it
you guys
does
see
look like
here?
Buscemi.
That's what
Oh,
it. That's what
wow.
it reminds me of. As soon as I saw it.
That reminds me of that, but it also reminds me of the Air Force 125 or the Air Force 25. Remember when
Word.
they redid the Air Force One?
Word. That little hook in the back. I see it.
Yeah, that little hook in the back.
But here's the problem, right? Here's what I can't understand why Ja Rule signed up off on these to work with them. Do you see what that big silver thing is on the side there?
It looks like a handcuff.
It's a handcuff for a guy who just finished doing 4 years in jail.
Hey.
No, did you read the article though? They bonded. Him and Steve Madden bonded. That's why they made this deal. They bonded over them both being in jail.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, buddy.
So what's the problem?
So we had to add some cuffs. Look, we had to add some cuffs so you felt at home.
Word.
Yeah.
It was Cub buddies.
Yeah.
Right.
How
I
about
don't
this
know,
shoe
man.
right here?
Like some
And how about this?
Uncle
You got the cuff on the other shoe. Now on these, we'll give you the key to them.
We give the key
Oh, wow.
to the cell. We give the key to the cell. Exactly.
Relationship goals.
Oh, get your own damn goals, I say. Get your own damn
So here we
goals, Ja Rule. Oh, this is like some these look like some shoes my grandfather had back in easily 1979. And yeah, he would shine them.
79 or 69 or 50.
Okay, well, I can remember 79. 69, I don't remember. I'm sorry. but that's his. He had some boots like those. They were made by Florsheim though, or something.
Those look like boots that you shuck and jive in.
Wow.
Jive.
Yeah, I just.
Okay, so now we're getting back to sneakers. Now we gave you
Yeah.
one handcuff on the first sneaker. Now we're going to give you 6 handcuffs.
Exactly.
Actually, make it 12. Make it 12 handcuffs because there's 6 more on the other side.
People don't even wear the arena that they copied for that anymore. That's crazy.
Yeah, they don't wear it in this country, but
I was gonna say.
across the globe, you see a lot of times people here in the States don't realize how big the world is.
Yep.
And how much money there is to get in other countries.
Word.
So they may be laughing about this stuff here in the States. That market may not even be the States. At this point, I figure Steve Madden either owns a factory or is in good with a factory where he's making these things dirt cheap. And the partnership with Ja Rule just may be off of a percentage of sales, of wholesales. So they don't really have to pay him anything. So I mean, in the end, it's a win-win for both of them, and they can ship these off to a third world country or even a second-tier country, and people will eat them up.
Are you, Ali?
So
Hey,
this is
people
the
still singing that stuff across the globe, man. Y'all be tripping, man. He's still. I bet you he still could fill a stadium in South America.
all right. Let's not go crazy, Quab.
I bet you
I
Ja
bet
Rule
you.
is
Come
big in
on.
Dubai.
Yo, I've seen it. I've traveled the globe. I've seen it.
In Johannesburg, he is selling
said-
out that arena.
Okay, I'm telling you.
Let's not go crazy, guys.
Yo, in the O2 Arena, the Oxygen Arena, Ja Rule is doing back-to-back danks.
Oh boy.
No, but Bob is right though. The international appeal, you can't beat that. The world's way bigger than America.
Yep, that indeed we know. We know
That
that.
is true.
Greater than America in some places, in some, so.
So let's throw this out here for discussion's sake for the viewers. Who is the customer for these?
Jamaicans.
Word. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. They sell a matching fishnet tank top with them.
Bob answered that so quickly.
Wow.
It just came out. It's the first thing that came to my mind. But, I mean, fashion forward individuals from another Caribbean country. How about that?
This model in particular intrigues me to know who's going to buy this model.
I bet you see some people in NYC with those. I put money on it.
NYC with these?
Yes.
Yeah, up in Dykeman.
Yeah, his family members. His family members.
I didn't say where. I said New York City. I ain't say no borough. I ain't say nothing like that. I bet
His family members.
I got you. How about
The
these?
old uncle that'll take anything that's free.
How about these? With the super long toe in the front.
I'm telling you.
That's the Miguel collaboration.
Miguel. Wow. Is that pre-stage diving or post?
That's the training shoe for the stage diving.
Okay, there you go.
Wow.
How about this one with the cuff on the strap?
I don't know who's gonna wear that. That's gonna be I don't know, man. I mean, I can actually on a far street I can see some cats in Heat's neck of the woods wearing these, trying to get into the club.
What? Stop. I can't see it. The cuff stall, that throws it
Put
off.
that sneaker inside of a dust bag, and then you sell 24 pairs. Then somebody's buying them.
I agree.
Listen, I truly believe.
Especially the black one. Especially the black one.
I was about to say, I truly believe there's somebody in everybody's hood that will buy this shit. But I really think that cuffs would throw a lot of people off. You know what I'm saying? Those cuffs will throw a lot of people off.
I think people would actually take them off too. Like actually do some cutting to remove
souvenir
that.
type shit?
Yeah, to like take it off completely because they're like, I don't want this big ass metal. Like, I mean, if it had like a name brand like, Gucci or LV or Prada or something maybe, but
It does, Ja Rule.
Nah. But if you listen, I'm gonna say this.
If we get Welvin the Great to wear these shoes, these
Well, for
sneakers,
president, yo.
if
Now
Welvin wears these shoes, he would actually have the internet going crazy for him.
Man, please.
I mean, if he can get D's nut on the ticket to compete against Hillary Clinton and good old Donald Trump, come on.
You're already at 9%.
He is at 9%.
See him out there independent.
He is independent. You gotta love it.
Hey, the guy who I'm looking for to creep up in the polls is these nuts.
Exactly, 9%. That's Welvin the Great.
Right?
He's gonna have a strong
These
writing
nuts?
a strong writing campaign.
Welvin
I didn't believe it until I
Press.
seen it on TV.
Oh, Welvin for president, man. You imagine what? Who ain't got no bitches?
Dog, no. You know what? Now that we're on the subject, though, I want to personally say we can't be making fun of the mentally handicapped for our own benefits. Not globally. That's not cool.
Listen,
What, Ben?
Nothing. I gave my PSA already.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, how many times are we gonna exploit the mentally handicapped, man? We got.
It's America. That's what this country's built on.
You're absolutely right.
What are you talking about?
Whole thing's tough. The whole thing. All right. So next up, here's another interesting piece of news. And for those who have not been paying attention, this particular gentleman has been busy in so many different lanes for so long, and now it's culminating to this. And you know what? I gotta give it to him. It's a great lane he jumped into. Gotta give it to him. So we're talking about the homie D-O-double-G. Adidas has hired him to be their director of football recruiting. Snoop Dogg.
That guy.
Way to go.
I'm telling you.
That guy.
He's winning.
Way to go, Snoop.
As long as he can blow one.
Yo,
Wow.
now his son is not playing at UCLA anymore. That was heartbreaking, yo.
What's that?
So his son isn't playing at UCLA anymore. He
Yeah,
gave
he's
up.
not. He's not.
What happened?
He's still going to be there.
Yeah,
he's
he's still
still-
going to school there. He's just
He's
not
going to
playing.
school there, but he's focusing on film. He doesn't want to play football anymore.
Right.
Really?
He's good. But Snoop is now the director of football development for Adidas. One of the reasons that this happened, from what's been told to me, is ever since the creation of the Snoop
Snoop U League?
Football League, Snoop Youth Football League has produced a few hundred players that have played in Division I and Division II football in America.
Yep. 6
And
of
if
them went first round. NFL.
And in this past class, Snoop had 21.
God damn, 21?
21 kids from the
every
Snoop
kid I know gets
Football League in recent times have made it to play Division I football. Snoop knows football.
Absolutely. You saw the way he pushed his son. He took his son and made him a D1 prospect in football.
The
Imagine when-
ESPN show where they chronicled Snoop and his son going through the process of which school he was going to go to definitely helped put him on a national platform as far as his football IQ, as well as the TV show that he had, the reality TV show he had, which was a big piece
Right.
of showing you what the Snoop Youth Football League was about.
So Diddy's son was also at UCLA. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Still is.
Right.
He's back on the team.
He's back on the
Except
team.
he wasn't good.
And Diddy's
Yeah.
been banned because of that whole cowbell
No, look,
incident.
Diddy's son really couldn't play like that. I mean,
Okay.
just to be real, he wasn't
But-
nearly the prospect that Snoop's son was.
But
Well,
yet,
there's
Snoop
two
was knives and
reasons
different. Go ahead.
Snoop's son was on offense, and Diddy's son is a defensive player.
Yeah, but Diddy's son's been in the program for a couple of years and never got anything done.
Right.
And that's why they kind of was like, you know what, we don't have to pull up with this bullshit. He's not even playing. Like, you know what I'm saying, with Diddy. But, yeah,
So-
he wasn't that good.
So Snoop, once again, congratulations, homeboy. Can't wait to talk to you about this too. Snoop is the director of football development for Adidas.
Perfect spot for him, especially at Adidas, who wasn't using him to his potential. Now he could do something worthwhile.
Director of football recruiting, not development, recruiting. So he is
So nobody's going to speak about the big ugly elephant in the room?
what? The blunt?
I mean, dog, exactly when's the first time we're going to hear about one of his players not being able to, being ineligible because of yada yada? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. My main thing is being somebody who follows recruiting from time to time, and I'm a big sports fanatic, as y'all know. You know, it's a lot of recruits that don't make it. You can be successful. Like prime example is Georgia. Um, Georgia is a football factory. Georgia constantly has one of the top 5, if not top 10, recruiting classes year in year out in football. However, you usually have about 5 to 6 of those from that class, from almost every class, that don't make it for one reason or another. Most of it is because of drug use. You know what I'm saying? And so my main thing is, how much of a look is this for Adidas? Because yeah, you're gonna bring him in, and as long as he's staying low key with it, and he's not gonna be out, out in, how can I put it? If he's not gonna be at the forefront, you know what I'm saying? If he's gonna be kind of laying low, hey, I think you ought to come check out some of our product. Go to this camp, go to that camp, and he's kind of moving behind the scenes. I think it could work. Unfortunately, with his habit, and everybody knows his habit, and this is what he's known for. A la, look at the picture that they decided to use for this story. I don't know how much of a negative connotation it will bring to, some of the parents that might be looking at, okay, Snoop is trying to tell my son to go here. I don't want my son to be involved in this type of thing. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. I can see the good and bad from both sides.
It does not matter. White America has accepted Snoop Dogg in all his weed smoking and pimping bitches glory. The nigga was on Martha Stewart.
Yes, that's true. But you're talking about parents and getting them to steer their kids in a certain market, a certain way. This is totally different when it comes to recruiting.
Who have bred their kids to play a sport where you only have a 2 to 3 year lifespan, and then you're broke after that.
You're making a point. You're making a point for me. You only have a 2 to 3 year span, like you just said. So you're gonna mess that up, and you're gonna mess 1 or 2 of those years up because you got busted for weed. Come on, dog.
The parents don't care, because instead of gearing their sons and on a road to academic excellence, they say, forget the books, let's play football. Oh, Snoop wants you, go ahead. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he smokes weed. It doesn't matter. Adidas backed him. Adidas didn't drug test him. They don't care.
No doubt, but you're still talking about young athletes who, if we remember correctly, let's look at over the summertime. Just all the NFL and all the college people, and I can pull up a list for you. It's a huge list, a laundry list of players who are not eligible to play for the first 2, 3, some even 4 games of either the NFL season, if they get that far, or the collegiate season. The bottom line is, at that point, then do the parents care then?
Nope.
So they still don't care. Their kids are in college. They don't care if they get to play, which might hinder them from going to the league. They still don't care.
Snoop might teach you the tricks how to get around them drug tests.
Man, come on, man. You know what? As a parent, I don't agree with this, and I know a lot of parents who have kids going through this process, and I totally think you're not on base with this. Parents do care. Parents do care.
Let me put this out there. Jameis Winston stole crab legs, allegedly with a white girl. This nigga ain't suspended for nothing. Nothing.
Because they didn't catch him doing nothing. They had no hard evidence. Don't think they didn't try to.
Crab legs.
Once again, they had no hard. If they had hard evidence on any of the stuff, they would have convicted him. Come on, dog.
Oh my gosh. So
you know what? You could think of it like this: the country is changing.
So you're telling me, since they didn't have any evidence, they didn't convict him, and he's eligible to play? Okay.
No doubt. Look it up. Don't believe me. Look up the facts.
I'm saying that to reiterate your point, so that I can put on another point. I'm not combating your point at all. So, if any of these players who are going to the collegiate level, who Snoop has, let's say, given a pat on the back, and their parents are worried about them passing or failing a drug test, you don't think that the evidence might not be there for them either?
It might not. Who knows? But are you willing to take that chance? I mean, listen. The bottom line is, it's a totally different world now. Mainly after 2 different incidents, the Ray Rice thing and the Adrian Peterson thing. People are hypersensitive about everything these athletes do, especially football players. And so with that, once again, let me finish my point. I'm gonna go back to Winston. The thing is, if listen, you had just as many people who was rooting for him to get off and trying to do everything they could to get him off. You had just as many on the other side who was trying to convict this dude. And the only reason he didn't get caught up was because they had no hard evidence. Now, I can use a couple of other examples, like what's the Gurley, the boy from Georgia. The bottom line is they call him up on some bullshit, on some signing memorabilia. But the bottom line is they had hard evidence, and that's the reason why he had to sit. And you had just as many people, dude. They end up putting the cat that ended up getting him convicted. They put him out of business. He had to move away. He had to move out of the state of Georgia because he had so many death threats. That's how many people who had Gurley's back who was trying to get him off. But guess what? You had just as many who convicted his ass because they had hard evidence. It's all about the evidence, brother. If you got it, then you gonna make these kids sit. Now, going back to the Snoop thing, hey, you take your chances. Maybe they got it, maybe they don't. But the bottom line is, how many parents are gonna steer their kids to somebody like that to take that chance? Why even take that chance when I'm looking at the NFL in 2 to 3 years?
Well,
I personally wouldn't do it.
Here's where I think is very unfair, respectfully, Heat, to discredit what Snoop's already done with the Snoop Youth Football League. You're basically minimizing his accomplishments already unofficially in this capacity down to his ability to publicly embrace marijuana, when for the last decade or so, he's already been doing this job, just not for Adidas.
Very, very true. But the thing is, I'm not discounting what he's done, because I know some of the things that he's done. He's been out here traveling to play and bring some of his team. His teams are very disciplined. They're very well schooled. They know the fundamentals. They're very good teams. No doubt. But I will say this once again: it's all about the perception. Like I said, I know this man puts his heart and soul into these youth programs, and I don't want to take that away from him. But at the same time, there's a perception of having these kids around all this weed while they're playing, and especially with them being high school students going into the collegiate era. The bottom line, that's what it is. It's perception.
I think if that was an issue, the Snoop Youth Football League wouldn't be over a decade in business.
Well, let's also be clear now. Snoop has a lot of help too. It's not all Snoop.
Well, you're proving all my points to why you shouldn't be discrediting him. So what I'm saying is, you basically know Snoop for weed. Is what you're saying that a parent is going to say.
Listen. Once again, I'm not discrediting him. When I started this whole thing, I said, "Are we not going to discuss the elephant in the room?"
But that wasn't an elephant. That is the elephant to me, because when you talk about Snoop in football, the word weed never comes up, ever.
Listen, when Snoop comes up, a lot of things come to mind, and weed is one of them. And I think we're naive if you don't address that. I mean, come on, dog. We can't be naive about, he's great at football and bringing these kids up, and not address the fact that he's been a user for years. He's tried to stop and he couldn't, and he went back to it. Come on, we can't not address that, especially with him being around kids. We can't not address that.
Here's where that's unfair. I met you through sneakers, but is that all I know you for?
No doubt. No, it's not.
All right, so why is that any different for Snoop?
Because listen, this is the realm he chose to be in, being an entertainer. He's going to have that perception around. Listen, it's a lot of people who are known for a lot of things. Is it fair? At no point am I saying any of this is fair. I'm just saying what it is. It's real. People are going to ask these questions, and I think we're naive to think that they're not.
And I think they already have, and I think the Snoop Youth Football League has already shut everybody up. That's why Adidas gave him this job.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, listen, I'm rooting for the brother. I'm not rooting against him. All I'm saying is I'm going to address it. I'm not going to – listen, I have a 9-year-old. This dude is wearing a size 9 shoe. They're talking about he's going to be 6'7" to 6'8". You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just putting myself in this situation. My son, they already talking about he's about to be big as shit. So with him being as big as he is, if he decides to play sports, which right now he hates sports, he doesn't want nothing to do with it, but if he, in the next 3 to 4 years, he decides to do it and he becomes exceptional because he is an athlete and he decides that he wants to do all this stuff, and he's asking me as a father, hey, what do you think about, this and that, or this school, or this person, or this and that? I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all I can't take into consideration everything, the whole package that comes with Snoop and anybody else who's recruiting my child.
That's fair. That's really
it's
fair.
a whole entire package. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to discredit the man. I'm just saying it's a part of his reality. It's a part of who he is.
But you got to think about this. The country's changing.
Would you let Luther Campbell train your son? Because he trained kids.
Whoa.
He does train kids, but I wouldn't let him train my son, and definitely not my daughter.
What you mean?
Well, why not?
What you mean? What is
Why not?
Why would you? Would you let your daughter go there? Go to him?
I no kids, but if he could turn.
But if you did though,
if he could turn them into potential prospects, and that's what my kids want, and he's the best person for the job, go ahead. It's not like he got butt naked holes on the football field.
Hey, you don't know that.
I do know that. I'm in Miami. What are you talking about?
Hey, you can't be around all the time, brother. You don't know that. That's what I'm saying. The thing is, we can't ignore what we know about these people.
In the football field.
Listen, y'all, we can't ignore what we know about them. I'm not trying to discredit the brother. I hope he succeeds. I'm on his side. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not gonna not address it.
It doesn't sound like that.
Responsible consumption. The country is changing. 1/4 of the country, you can now use it as medicine. In 5 states, which is like 10% of the country, you could use it just because. With that being said, because public opinion is changing and because people are becoming older that are of different mindset, you're gonna get that other mindset as well. So it might not be as demon.
I have no problem with his whatever he wants to do. Like I said, I have to look at the bigger picture though. If I'm a parent and I'm honestly trying to get my son to the next level, aka the NFL, then you have to take in consideration with everything that happens in these off seasons, with all the drug use, all the drinking, all the arrest that goes on. You have to look at that. You can't turn a blind eye to it, y'all. You can't.
So maybe he might be the right person to speak to this thing, rather than someone who has no affiliation with it at all.
That he could use it. You know what? I could see that. I could definitely see him using it as spinning it to his advantage. I could see him doing that. It would be smart on his part. Once again, to me, it's just idiotic not to address it. If he comes in and say, "Hey, I do this, but I'm not trying to go to the NFL. So if you're trying to get to the NFL, then I'd suggest you don't do this shit." Then if he's doing that, then so be it. Great, you know what I'm saying? But I'd be an idiot not to say something about it. Snoop,
I would be an idiot.
Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Just go ahead and do your thing. I'm not gonna say nothing about it. As a parent, that's idiotic.
So how do you feel about Adidas taking this step to hire him for this? With everything you said, let's talk about the Adidas factor. What do you think Adidas was thinking about?
I think it's a very calculated risk. I do. I think it could go either way. But I think with Adidas, I think the upside to it outweighs the downside.
And the upside is what?
I think the upside is he could be helping you build up your roster. So by the time these kids get to college and then they go to the pros, they want to sign with Adidas versus Nike or Under Armour. And it's almost like they're doing what Nike did with Sonny Vaccaro back in the day. It's just a hipper, cooler Sonny Vaccaro. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely see where they're going. I think it's a great idea. Once again, I think it's a calculated risk. I think that I really think that he's going to pay the background and not really be to the forefront. I think he's going to probably be moving in silence. And with that, I think that's a good thing. I'm not saying this is a terrible move. I'm not saying it at all, but I think it's a calculated risk.
Speaking of high schoolers and brands, y'all heard about what Nike's doing during the Under Armour game?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that right now. We're not going to give Nike no more pub on that until they pay us. Hey, D, you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
As someone who has played football, what do you think about this move with Adidas and Snoop? We need you to weigh in on this.
It's brilliant marketing, but it's just that. It's marketing. He is a spokesperson. He is a voice. He is has a platform. He has been successful though, so that's been the surprising piece to me. I've been surprised by the success that Snoop Dogg has had, and I think it's only going to help, kind of build and further his brand, but also say, listen, this is not like I take this very seriously. I am a role model, you know, and I'm going to help you get to the next level if you're willing to put in the work. So I like that, but there is a air of caution. I know I would with my child. But at the end of the day, if this is the best, if I've said, okay, this is the best league out there for my child to get exposure to play a sport that they want to play and get to the next level and possibly earn a collegiate scholarship, you know what? Sign them up, get them out there. But I know damn sure I'm going to be present. I'm going to be around.
Right.
I'm going to be watching.
And you're gonna be around watching and asking questions. Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
Like a parent should. That's the only thing I'm saying, y'all.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've been saying.
But this is a power move on Adidas' part, but it's actually funny at the same time because Snoop has changed, brands so many times. It's hard to keep track of them all. So his most recent alignment with the three stripes comes off the heels of what? Anyone remember Doggy Biscuits?
Doggy Biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Remember those?
Snoop has had the Adidas thing for a few years, no?
But that was not his fault. That was Pony's doing. Pony's not his. Because Pony also signed Rick Ross that same year.
Yes, but at the same time, he should never have signed with Pony. Rick Ross should have never signed with Pony.
What year was that?
They should have saw the writing on the wall.
We're talking 07, 08 maybe?
Who else was Puma? Who else was he with Puma too? Was Snoop with Puma at one point?
I don't think so.
He was somebody else too.
He's gotten around. It's factual.
He's he gets around definitely.
He's been with it for the last 3 or 4 years, though.
Right.
I mean, I ain't mad at him. Get your money. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to remember.
It's marketing. I mean, it's good marketing. It's good PR. Adidas right now is feeling a lot of pressure to get their name front and center. Because they slipped even further, as from the number 2 spot in terms of U.S. footwear market to now number 3, a distant number 3 behind who? Skechers.
Yeah.
Skechers has surpassed them.
And
so
Under Armour has passed them as a sportswear brand.
Exactly. So they're like, shit, we have to make some moves. We got to shake things up here. They're actually sending people from Adidas who were brought over from Germany back to Germany, and people in the United States in their Portland, Oregon headquarters. They're trying to reduce some target recruiting and bringing people from marketing from outside the industry even.
Yep.
So a lot of change with the capital C as we see. But you know what? Salute to Snoop on this one. I hope I hope he's successful with it, and more importantly, sets a precedent. Like, what? Listen, I'm not just a rapper. I'm also a businessman. I'm a motivator. I'm a coach, and I have a great team. Just like you said, he and Paper, he has a great team of people behind him. A great team.
Yep.
Right.
That's what you need.
So
that's what you need.
He
spent a lot.
More power to the brother. I hope he succeeds. I really do. I truly do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's really more of, even though this is a formality to make the announcement, it's more like continued success because, again, with the Snoop Youth Football League, he's been around for over 10 years doing this same thing unofficially. So.
Oh yeah, he's been killing it for a long time doing this. So. Hopefully, he can definitely get some good publicity out of this, and I think more importantly, get a lot of good gear out of this, and really help fund his league and help fund his kids.
Word. I was wondering why Adidas has been releasing Snoop football cleats for the last 2 years.
Well,
I think he had a cleat and he had a cross trainer too, right? At one point.
He had a colorway of the cross trainer. It's an existing one. Like something, I forget what it's called. But yeah, for the last 2 years, he got like a specialty cleat. like when they've been doing their Addy 0 5-star.
Right. So they probably made that up for his boys, for all his kids.
No, they were released.
No, I remember the last one that was released. I think it was released early this year. It was a cross trainer that they released. I remember that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about the police though.
He had shoes earlier this year. He did.
So Snoop has
So-
been. Wow, they put out cleats, eh? Wow.
All right. So
Silhouette.
last story of the night, which is something I guess in some way, shape, or form we all can relate to. And we're still sticking with football somewhat on this one. We're talking about
A new Air Cruise colorway?
nah,
You're killing me.
not at all with that dude.
Best hybrid sneaker since the Sharkley.
Oh,
We'll see them
Really?
on
Since
we'll
the
see them on Ballers next week. Don't worry.
did he really just bring up Sharkley?
The Sharkley is the best hybrid sneaker. You can't think of one better.
Mute him.
Goodbye. Yeah, he muted himself.
Yeah, mute him now. Mute him right now.
So let's talk about this. NFL player DeAndre Levy
Yep.
no longer wants to be a quote-unquote sneakerhead. Now, and I think D will get a personal kick out of the details of this story.
I know.
So, DeAndre Levy plays for the Detroit Lions. And for those of us who have been in the know of what's happening in Detroit, Detroit is one of the more devastated cities in America. School system, housing, the entire city actually recently filed for bankruptcy a couple of years ago. Detroit has been having a really hard time. So, Mr. DeAndre Levy has decided that he is selling his collection and donating all of the proceeds to charity. And among the reasons he stated in an interview with AOL was because he was placing too much value on things that didn't matter, and he expressed guilt when he saw all the people in need in Detroit. So he said the hardest pair to part with for him, though, was his Vegas Soul Collector dunks, which he said he spent most of his Pell Grant in acquiring.
Yo.
Yeah.
That's the realest thing ever.
That's crazy.
So-
It's crazy.
What do you think they spend their Pell Grant money on?
Yeah, I know, right?
I bought a book.
Boy, stop.
So the rest of DeAndre Levy's interview is over on AOL.com, but how do we feel about that in regard to him actually being someone who, with whatever the average NFL salary is actually in the midst every day of seeing people who are really having a hard time collectively and realizing, you know what, this shit don't matter. I can leave it all. How you guys feel about that? And here are some of the shoes that he has up for sales.
Is this the guy that sold all his Yeezys at the same time? I took that one really big picture in the locker room.
What's that?
There was some NFL player that said he's selling all his Yeezys and took like a really big picture in the locker room, like with the Louis, like all that. I don't know. I'll find the picture. But
Yeah, if you find that, pull that up for us. So how do we feel about this?
Well, we know he's got a lot of money because he signed a 4-year extension with the Lions, a contract at $33.7 million with a signing bonus of $12 million and $20 million guaranteed, and an average annual salary. Yes, get this, $8.4 million. In 2015, Levy will earn a base salary of $1 million with a signing bonus of $12 and a workout bonus of $6,240. Yes, that's right. A signing workout bonus. He got a workout bonus of $6,240.
That's normal.
Levy had, he had a cap of $4.4 million, while his dead money value is roughly at $13 million. So he is going to be a free agent in 2020, but for right now, he's got some good coinage in his pocket, and that's not knowing his financial situation with his family and everything else. But you know what? Good for him. I think I'm gonna take his cue, and I'm gonna liquidate a whole bunch of sneakers too. And I shit you not, I'm selling a lot of shit.
All right, all right, all right.
Cool.
So y'all stay tuned. Real
Yeah,
soon.
I need you to send me a
A
list
list?
first.
You want a list? No problem. Coming up.
Yeah, but no, you know what? Seriously, the first thing I thought about was knowing all the information that you said about, he's not hurting. He's not like the average player. He's not hurting at all. Um, I think the gesture is nice. I think it's more for publicity because if you really wanted to give back, then you can cut a check. And I mean, hey, I know it sounds bad, me saying, hey, I'm trying to spend this man's money, but honestly, I'm just, all I want to do is just be honest about the situation. Exactly how much do you think these shoes are going to bring that you're going to be able to donate to the, I think he was donating to some of the workers and things like that. I think it's a noble cause. I applaud him. It's something that I do, on the regular. For every couple of pair I get, I always give away a couple of pair. I call it inventory control. I've been doing it for about 3-4 years now. But like I said, I think it's a great gesture. I applaud him for that. But my thing is, with all those shoes that he entered and the ones that I saw, especially the way the market is today, I just don't know if he's going to be able to, if it's really going to raise that much money to make a difference.
Well,
I mean, I know every little bit counts. I know that,
I
but
was just going to say that much. Every little bit helps, especially in a city like Detroit.
yeah, it does. But I guess, like I said, more than anything for me, when I look at some of these athletes and some of the stuff that they do, because what a lot of people don't tell you, and I'm gonna, as a former college athlete, and I know a couple of y'all can speak to this. Some of us do it because we like to do it. Some of us do it because it's in our hearts. Some of us do it because the coach makes us do it. And that also happens in the NFL, in the NBA, and a lot of different things. They have these programs where it's mandatory for you to do some of this stuff. Now, I think it's great that they make them do it, because you have some assholes that just all about self. So I like the fact that it makes them do it. But I look for, personally, somebody who's been out here and who does give back and who does do whatever I can do, especially when I play ball. I look for the people who actually spending time. They're spending their money, but they also spending their time. It's not all about just, hey, look what I'm doing. Everybody look, I'm giving back to the community, you know what I'm saying? And trying to make a big deal out of it so everybody can see it. And I'm not saying this is what he's doing. I'm just saying this is something that I personally don't like and what I look for. I look for the athlete who's always giving back. Somebody like a Ward Dunn. If you don't know what Ward Dunn does in the community, look it up. He constantly is giving back to the single mother. That's his cause. He does it without anybody saying anything. He does it. He doesn't even want the notoriety. He doesn't want the news camera. He doesn't want any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's been doing this for years in every city he's been in. That's the kind of person, to me, that's the person that I want to show my son. Hey, this is who you need to be like. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like I said, nothing against this brother, because I don't even know him like that. I just know what I heard and what I hear, and I know he's a decent player. But that's just what I personally look for. You know what I'm saying? Don't just give back and make sure everybody and your grandmother knows about it. Do it all the time. Do it when nobody's watching, because that's when it really means something.
Well, let's pay attention to this statement that he said right here. He said in the interview that he was placing too much value on things that didn't matter. And for me, that speaks to somebody who went and did a little soul searching. This is past maybe a charitable obligation. And at 28 years old, if you're saying to yourself, I'm placing too much value on things that didn't matter, at 28 years old, I placed a lot of value on shit that didn't matter. But I wasn't rich.
Amen. You're right. Hey, you're right. Amen.
So the reason why I say that is you're more in tune with paying attention to shit that doesn't matter when you're not rich. When you're rich, you were so far out of touch with the value on things that don't matter that for him to really reach this point, I see that as a personal soul search, especially based on whatever his exposure is to what's happening in Detroit. So
Right. Good point.
I don't think this is one of those things where it's an NFL obligation and he chose to be creative or he wants to PR. At 28 years old, I can't tell you about one sneaker I would have willingly parted with. Not at all. Not at all. There's not one sneaker in my closet I would have willingly parted with at 28 years old.
You've been kicking and screaming, right?
Not at all.
I know I would have. Yep.
So for now, I mean, you know, in the last 7 to 8 years, I give away 50 to 60 pairs of sneakers a year without blinking an eye.
Yep, you
But
gave me a
at
pair.
28, what's that?
I said, yeah, I remember. You gave me a pair a couple months ago.
But at 28, and to be rich, the last thing you're thinking about on average is giving somebody anything. That's actually why the NFL, the NBA, and everybody instituted those charitable and community obligations, because these guys were never going to do it on their own. Yet
Exactly.
Larry
At a young
Sanders, he left the NBA at 24 after he got his rookie check.
You know? So that was a personal soul search to me when he said, I'm starting to place too much value on things that don't matter, and then I'm looking out here at Detroit where houses cost $3,000 in some neighborhoods.
Right.
Mm.
Houses cost $3,000 in some neighborhoods in Detroit. They're not neighborhoods you want to live in, unfortunately, but you can buy a house in certain areas in Detroit for $3,000 in America.
What does that speak to more? Or the
That
most?
speaks to the entire city being corrupted, being milked of its resources, and then people leaving everything with just dry bones in the sand. That's what happened to Detroit. So do I feel that he got put on radar, I guess, with his new contract, as D said, and everything that he's making? And who knows, after he signed that deal, he probably drove through Detroit for some reason, the part of Detroit where it's not so nice, and said, damn, this is how people live? And here I am with these sneakers I just bought,
Right.
happy as hell?
Right.
Nah, I got to get rid of some of this. And it's smart for him to put all this hyped up stuff up there, because that's all people want. If he was to offer up a whole bunch of GRs, he'd make no money, like you said. He'd make no money to give to them. So you got to put up stuff that people can be like, oh, I've been looking for those. Well, here's how much, so I can raise this money and give to these people. You got to bring bees to the honey.
I can dig it. I mean, it's very admirable. I applaud the brother for what he's doing. I just hope he doesn't get, I mean, my coming to Jesus moment, I gave away too much. I'm trying to get a lot of that stuff back. So it's. I mean, and I think the moral to me is it's all about moderation. I think that's the best thing that I can teach. My son and my kids is, everything in moderation. It's okay to want things and to have things and to be motivated by certain things, but it's all about moderation. And I think that's what I didn't realize like I said, when I had my moment where, I got rid of pretty much, half of my shit. You know what I'm saying? I literally was just giving away bags and bags full of 13s and 14s that, I really couldn't wear it anymore, but I could have got money for this stuff, but I was literally giving it away to college students, like cats that I knew, a lot of basketball players that had big feet, and I was just taking trash bags full of stuff and just dropping it off. And then it was like probably a year after that, I was like, damn, what was I thinking, man? I gave away that certain pair. Like, certain pairs you kind of have a sentimental value. You was like,
Of course.
what the fuck was I thinking? Like, yeah, I'm glad I gave away most of that, but it's just that one pair I wish I would have held on to. Damn.
Now, how old were you when you did that?
Honestly, I was pretty young. I was 27. Yeah, I was 27. I just got married. I got married a little early. I got married at 26, and at 27, we were moving, and we was doing pretty well. We was trying to get our first house, and that's when I kind of was like, you know what? I don't need a storage. You know, I to be honest with you, I was so busy working and grinding and getting ready for my son. I just found out my son was on the way. Just got married. I forgot I had a storage at my old school. It's in Georgia. Georgia Southern. I forgot about my storage down there, and that's when I realized, you know what? I'm not even missing this shit, so I need to give it away. So I just started, like I said, I literally bagged up. I got a buddy of mine. We bagged up like everything. I literally was like throwing away boxes. I threw away OG boxes from, back. This is stuff from back in the '80s. I got one box I held onto, the OG Nike box that was brown, the brown cardboard, red and black. I kept one of those just for nostalgia's sake. But the rest of that shit, I was getting rid of boxes, throwing all that stuff away, and just bagging up sneakers, just bagging up hundreds. It was definitely over 300 to 400 sneakers. I had a storage literally just full of sneakers down in Statesboro, Georgia. I'll never forget. I was paying $125 a month just to keep that shit in there.
Boy, you crazy.
Yeah, I was on some other shit.
Guys bought and get storage lockers, yo. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I was on some other shit, but it was more of a. You have to understand. I've been collecting this stuff since I was 12. Like from the time I was 12, I was just like my son. I was a big ass kid. I was cutting grass, and that's all I did. So when I went away to school, I had like 150 pair when I went to college. Like my roommate, I never forget. He looked at me like, "Are you fucking crazy?" Like I didn't have no clothes in there. I had all shoes in my. I kept listen. No
He was
bullshit.
like, who is this dude?
Yeah, I kept all my clothes. This goes to show you kind of dude I was. I can give a fuck about clothes, all about sneakers. So I literally wore all white T-shirts, all black T-shirts. This is back before it was popular. So all I wore was just regular plain ass colored T-shirts, whatever matching my shit, jeans, and that was it. I kept all my clothes in, them storage bins, them big ass storage bins that you can buy at Walmart, where you store stuff.
Yeah.
I had like 3 of those bins. I had one for pants, one for shirts, one for shorts, and the rest of my closet was stacked to the sky with sneakers. That's how I kept my shit. That was college for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I did.
Simple.
Yeah, I was
playing around.
Yeah, I was straight to the point. I didn't play. I was all about the kicks, and everybody knew it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, big move by DeAndre Levy. We hope that it does. It is a productive sale for him where he can benefit, some of the needy folks in Detroit, because Detroit is a city that is definitely in shambles. For those of you who may not be aware of what's going on in the city of Detroit, all you need to do is just Google a little bit of Detroit's troubles. Like that, all you have to do is just Google those 2 words, Detroit's troubles, or Detroit and bankruptcy. And then there's so many articles and so much you could find out to see how bad off that city is right now. And to believe that that's an actual American city that's going through something like that. Something got to be done. He took the personal initiative to, try and make a statement and say I was putting too much value on stuff that doesn't matter.
Right.
That's one of the things that we teach, through social studies, and one of the things that we've been talking about on the show. And it's a social media hashtag for us and everything. People over sneakers, because they really don't matter that much. As much as we love them, they really don't matter that much.
True.
So if we can use them as a vehicle to help and do something for the betterment of humanity, then yeah, we're going to use them to do that. So there's no issue there. So if DeAndre Levy has some size 9s, I might call him up, see what he has.
What you got, son? What you got in size 9?
Yeah, son. Nobody ever auctions any of this shit off in size 9.
I know, right?
Not even me. I'm a selfish bastard that way too. I'm no different. All right, so 11:36 Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, sir.
So we recapped. We spoke about, just to recap rather, we spoke about the bloody day on the stock market for the stocks that we watch. We spoke about Steve Madden and Ja Rule. We spoke about the NFL player who's quitting sneakers, Mr. DeAndre Levy of the Detroit Lions. And we spoke about Snoop Dogg's new director of football position with Adidas. So that is all that makes up episode number 358. Until next week, you can find us on all the social media outlets: Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr. We're all over. And we'll be back next week with episode number 359, which actually, ladies and gentlemen, is our anniversary episode. Not 2 weeks, 1 week.
Yeah.
Is it next week?
Next week.
Next week, the 27th is our day officially.
Oh, that's crazy. Good.
The 8th anniversary episode. So it is time to celebrate 2 presidential terms of Talking Kicks since 2007. I'm looking forward to some people in... What's that?
No, go ahead. After you.
No, go ahead.
Isn't also someone's very special to you and to me, someone's birthday next Wednesday as well?
Well, next Tuesday actually is Simone's 16th birthday.
Tuesday.
My daughter Simone.
I was close. I knew that. Okay, that's right. There it is.
OSD was born one day after Simone was born.
Oh, congrats. That's what's up.
So we turned 8. She turned 16.
Hey, it's all good.
Damn, 16. Wow. That is crazy. I can't fathom. I can't fathom my baby girl being 16. She's 5, yo. Like
my daughter's first pair of sneakers when she was born, Air Jordan 14s.
14s, huh?
The Laney 14s. Her first pair of sneakers.
Oh, the Laneys. Wow.
I'm still looking for a pair. I'm still looking for the picture with those sneakers in it.
There you go.
To show everything.
Nice, nice.
So we're back next week. Until then, make sure you hit us up again through all our social media outlets and all the disorderlies and social studies who are watching. Hope you enjoyed this week off from assignments. Because next week you get hit with the woo-ah!
Real no.
Episode 359 next week, y'all. 8th anniversary episode. So we about to be out. G-Wells, we gotta roll.
We gotta roll. Keep your laces tied tightly, your tongue loose, walk good. Tell people who we are, what we're about, what we do each and every Wednesday, each and every show, because we are the Sole Doctors and the Disorderlies. Until then, y'all be good, be safe, and tell the people that you love them. And we're up out of this. Peace.
Ooh.